everyone. This is my global learning project. I'm Matt, and this is my video log one. Since most of this project is about culture, I thought the first thing that I would do is by start off by like defining what culture is. So, culture. What is culture? Culture is beliefs, perceptions, values, and behaviors that characterize most members of a group. So, the first part of the project is to talk about your own culture and its connection to education. Okay, so my culture is connected to education and the fact that my parents and grandparents wanted and expected me to go to college. My parents both grew up in Italy and moved to the United States, and for that reason, they did not go to college because in Italy, like they didn't get a very good education. They like went to middle school and high school, but they like had no after graduate school. Even though they didn't go to college, they like expected me to go to college. Um, I was always taught that like if you work hard in life and you have a passion about something and you like truly want something, you can achieve it as long as you work for it. My parents are both big believers in the American dream, and they truly cherish American and Italian traditions and cultural aspects. Um, for example, a family tradition passed down to my family is every Sunday at 1 p.m. we go have dinner at my grandparents' house. That's just like one thing that my culture does. Not saying other people don't do that, but that exact thing, but that's just one thing that my culture has been passed down through my culture. It started kind of back with my grandparents, like them, my grandparents going to their grandparents' house and like having dinner and stuff like that. And it's to really just to bring my family together so we can all come together, learn about each other, learn the struggles of life, the joys of life, and celebrate those things. Um, my culture truly does fall in line with like the northern European American culture mix, and I think my culture has been passed down for generations throughout my family. Even though in each generation through each time period it's been a little bit different. Um, so the culture group that I belong to is much like that of the predominant culture in the United States, um, which is white, middle class, Protestant of faith, and Northern European descent. So how might my culture beliefs about education might differ from someone else's? I think that my culture beliefs about education might differ from someone else's in the fact that they might not have the same drive and passion for school that I do. Which I mean by they could have way more passion for school than I do, or they could have way less, depending on the person, how they were raised, where they came from, and the things that have like shaped and changed their lives. Um, for example, one of my best friends that I met at college is from Lebanon, and he's actually lived in like 30 different countries around the world, and he told me, we kind of like talked about it. It's that his Lebanese culture education is like very important. Like that's one thing that his parents harp on is education. I mean, he's just literally education nonstop. Like all he cares about is school and doing well in school. And then you, on the other hand, you could have someone come from a background or area that they're not the exact same way, that they don't feel the same way about school. They weren't grown up to like care much about school, and their focus and priorities are on other things, which is fine. For the second half, my plan, first off, I am planning to interact with someone that I met my freshman year. I met him in my dorm at Williams. I don't really like know him too well. We like talked a couple of times. We're not really like close or anything like that. But I reached out to him and he agreed to do the project. His name is Mateus Caxieta, and he's from Brazil. Um, I don't really know too much about Brazil or anything really to do with Brazilian culture or education or anything like that. I don't know too much about him either. I've never met someone from the area, so he could be very culturally different from me in the fact that he doesn't feel the same way about education that I do. He could be more passionate, less passionate. To be honest with you, I don't really know. Um, I think that interacting with him might take me out of my comfort zone in the fact that we don't speak the same language. Obviously, his first speaking language is Spanish because he's from Brazil, and mine's English. So it could be hard to interact with him and like see like maybe like it's hard for me to ask questions about culture because it kind of is a sensitive topic, but who knows, we'll see. And my plans to meet with Mateus is just I've texted him and reached out to him and see if we can maybe meet, like go get some coffee or something like that, or just like go to the library and just have some more quiet where we could talk. And he agreed to like totally do that. I haven't set up like an exact place or time yet, but I do plan it to be somewhere alone where we can like have a good conversation, talk about stuff, and really get a good interaction with him and like maximize my learning experience.